Okay, welcome everyone to this price ladder analysis video. So what I'm going to go through today, very quickly, it's a short video of a bit of a setup and some price action afterwards. So what we're going to be looking at is the Eurostoxx 50 and a setup that occurred on the 24th of July 2015. Now to put this into context, this is how the market was set up. This was just after the Greek deal was announced. So the announcement of the Greek deal officially took place in here. We had a very rapid move higher, gapped, technical gap in here. Started trading a little bit higher in here where we put in a top. The market came under a little bit of pressure, filled in that gap as you can see in here. And then the day before the 24th, we had opened up relatively high and then closed relatively weak on the day. So there was a very weak context in place. Now, however, taking a look up at the market structure, if we split this and toggle this, you'll see as we opened, it was outside of balance. So the value area low was at 36.23 and the value area high was at 36.43. So we had a 20 tick value area. The market had opened, moved, pushed lower, couldn't sustain an offer, and then we came back into value. When we opened that second print, we had effectively had an 80-20 trade on. The market had moved all the way up to the other side of the value area and then held above the value area for quite some time. And then above these 43s, there was actually quite a bit of reloading and quite a bit of absorption above these 43s. And the market was effectively getting very long in this area. There was a lot of big bids, 3, 4, 5,000 lots getting filled on the bid, like I was saying, and eventually we actually got back below this value area high and held there for quite a long time, but the market was very quiet for quite some time. So you had to be really alert and had to be watching your price ladder very intently, because the setup, basically of a failed hold above that value area high was that it was basically going to auction back in. But the fact that we were holding in there for quite some time gave us that clue, because we couldn't get back above it. Now, to put this into a little bit more context for you guys, the market, if we put this on a 60-minute chart, was flagging for quite some time. So this is our uptrend. We moved all the way up into this flag. We had this pretty interesting flag formation in here, as you can see, which on the day we came into these, the previous day we came into these 06s, held, and then the next day we basically started rallying off that flag. So because we had touched that flag support, there was a lot of market participants getting very long, excessively long, up into these areas, and very aggressively long. And if we put this onto a 5-minute chart, we'll just see how that looked on that day. So let me get this volume chart in place. You can see this was our open, tested lower, got back into value, flagged for a bit, and then we had some really aggressive longs in here. The market was holding above these 43s, as we said before, broke back below, and then held above these 36s, between 36s and 42, 43s. So about a 6-tick range. We're holding in that range for the better part of 2 hours. So we're sitting here for a very long time. And had you been watching this, it was very slow. There was a lot of absorption up at these 36, 37s. And this looked very much like a flag, to be honest. You could have been looking at this saying this is the flag, but the flag was below that value area high, as we noted, at 43s. Now we're going to take a look on the price ladder what it looked like at this point in time, just as we were breaking through here, because literally out of nowhere some volume came into the market, and let's just see how that reacted and see what it looked like on the price ladder for you guys. If you just bear with me for 1 second, we'll close this, open that up, and I'll get this going. Okay, so we'll close this up and make this a bit bigger. Okay. So at the minute we're trading around these 38s, 37s. This is like we noted before, so this is just before we were breaking out. We're holding again. We're holding at these 37s, and then bang, some volume just comes into the volume out of nowhere, comes into the market out of nowhere. And now you see, I mean, you can't really see it because it seems like the data is a little bit flawed in here, but we did do quite a bit of volume through that break of 36s. Now what we want to see in this area is people, anyone that's gotten aggressively long above these 36s, and especially above those 42s, is probably going to want to start paying down. Now we've got a very big 4,000 or 5,000 lot, 4,800 lot at 32s now, but just above there at 34s there's someone reloading. So every time someone buys into these 34s, someone is reloading the offer. Now that could give us the indication that these 32s is actually a spoof, and that someone very big needs to unload a lot of his position. So we just came up, went bid 34s, 35s, but nothing really traded at 35. So that's an indication, because he did have an opportunity to take this bid back above 36s, but he couldn't. So if this is fake, now I'm probably going to look to get a short off position here. If this basically is fake, there we go, that's fake. I'm looking to sell essentially right there. And if these sellers can hold this pressure, and we can get through this area, there we go. That's where we're going to start getting these people paying down, paying the price for getting this trade essentially wrong. Now, effectively, what you want to be looking for on this trade, on any blip, obviously, I'm going to start scaling out a little bit. Oh, for some reason, I've just cut reverse. That is not what I want to do. Let's get a few of those lots out. Definitely don't want to be long here. Let's get 4 lot. Let's take that out. Scratch that. But anyway, what I wanted to be doing there is effectively just scaling out a bit. So for the sake of the argument, I'm going to throw in a 1 lot here just to show you guys that I'm looking to be short. And we're looking for just that little bit of excess puke. When I say an excess puke, I mean we want a bit of a flurry, a bit of a move down. So maybe, there we go, that's something we're probably going to be looking for. There's some good volume, some good acceleration in price. Again, why do I keep doing this? This keeps changing my clip for some reason. All right, I'm just going to take a loss on that. But the basic principle here is, through those 36s, we saw some good volume coming in. A big spoofer came in at 32s. And essentially was spoofing the market into his offers up at these 33s, 34s. And then anyone that was buying in front of those 32s, again, had to puke along with the rest of the buyers. And then we saw that quick flush down into these areas around 24s and 23s. Now, if you guys do remember, we'll pull this up over here. Those 23s were effectively the value area low of the day. So that is essentially what you want to be looking for on any kind of setup like that, where it's holding back inside the initial value area, holding below those 43s. The move, you're looking for it to auction back to the other side of value, which we did. Obviously, we did continue lower that day, but just as a target, that's something you want to be looking for. And as you can see, after we hit 23s, that was our short-term low. That's basically the setup I wanted to show you guys. I know it's short and sweet. However, the most important thing here is the fact that the market was extremely stale for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then out of nowhere just picked up. So this is the point I'm trying to make here, is that even when the market looks like there's nothing going on, there's an absolute volatility squeeze, zero happening, you have to keep your eye on the price ladder and watch for any cues, because as soon as it wakes up, you need to be, from whatever you're doing, if you're talking to a trader next to you or making a plan on the day, and then you see something peculiar pick up on the price ladder, you have to switch on and be focused 110%, because there's opportunities to be had. Right. Well, thank you guys very much for listening. I'll be with you guys again towards the end of the week, a weekly wrap up, and hope you guys have a great rest of the trading day. Bye bye.